question of this nature demands some skills in solving technical questions that involve vectors. And what to do is to be very careful in resolving this kind of question, because you need to take care of each of the letters used appropriately. So what we need to do is very simple. They say if. Look at this. They say if. The question is very simple but technical. Technical in the sense that you must take into consideration all these IJK that represent different aspects of vectors, right? So the first one is a vector is given as P equal to 8I minus 5J plus 3K, and another vector is given as Q equal to 6I plus 7J minus 4K. Here comes the question. Determine I, P plus Q, I, modulus P, and Q, modulus Q. I, P dot Q, can you see? And then IV cos theta. I repeat, IV cos theta. And then V, unit vector in the direction of P. Come on. And finally, cross vector of P cross Q, okay? P cross Q. These are different questions coupled into one question. We are going to analyze them one after the other and arrive at their various answers. So let's begin with number one. We write solution. Solution. That's the first thing to do. Solution. Our solution is going to be in such a way to identify each of these letters. So the first one is P. We have P. We are solving question number one, which is P plus Q. Let's find out. Let's find out. For P, we have this. Or rather, let's first of all write the individual letters out. So let's write out the individual letters before we now work it out. So for P, we have 8I minus 5J, 8I minus 5J, right? Plus 3K, that's for P, right? So let's look at, for Q, we have, Q is given as 6I plus 7J, 6I plus 7J, not K, 7J, right? And finally, minus 4K. Minus 4K. What's wrong with my chalk? Okay, minus 4K. That's for that, 4K. Okay. Now the question is find P plus Q. That's the question. How do we now find P plus Q? Let's quickly do that. P plus Q, we can get that here. P plus Q is equal to, bring together what we have here. Look at this. 8I, we go with 6I. That's the first thing. 8I will go with 6I. Okay? So if 8I goes with 6I, that's plus 8I plus 6I is going to be 14I. Okay? So we have 14I. 14I. Good. Then the next one is we go again. Minus 5J plus, can you see that? Minus 5J plus 7J. Minus 5J plus 7J. What happens? Minus 5J plus 7J. We have minus 2J. Okay? That's it. Yeah. Okay. Minus plus. So that should be plus 2J. Okay. That's the first one, or the second term. Then the third term has to do with K and 4. 3K and minus 4. So here we have, check it again, we have 3K minus 4 is going to be minus K. Simply minus K. Good. So we have solved this now. This is solved. this question, P plus Q, is solved. That's the answer. Excuse me. So that is it. That's the first one. Now let's look at second one, which is modulus P, meaning finding the squares of P. So let's take that. Each of that, we can do I here, we are looking for modulus P, that is squaring everything that has got to do with P. Alright? Let's find out what we have for P. And then we do that for P and do that for Q. Okay? So for P, we square. For P, we have 8. And we square 8. And we have 8 squared. Alright? We put plus because everything is going to become plus. Then for what? J, we have 5. Look at this. The same thing here. 5 squared. 5 squared. Alright? Plus again. Everything there should be plus. Yes. And then the last one is 3. 3 is there. 3. 3k. And we square 8. 3 squared. So finally, let's continue from here. P modulus is giving us what? Let's see. This is 64. Let's go. This is 64, right? The next one is 25. 25, okay? And the next one is 9. Yes. This is 64, 25, and 9. So we have plus 9. Plus 9. Good. Okay? That is it. Plus 9. And then finally we have modulus P. Okay? So to say is equal to total of what we have in there. Total of what we have in there. Okay, let's see. Total of what we have in there. 64, 25. This will give us 9 and then 89. 89 plus 9. 89 plus 9. Let's see. 89 and then plus 9. This is 8 and then here 98. So we have 98. Good. That's for P. Okay? And that is what it should be in the first place. Let's do the same thing for modulus Q. Let's see. And modulus Q, we have to get everything there squared. Everything there should be squared. Modulus Q is this. Look at Q. We find everything squared here. We have 36. Or rather, let's do it in a very nice way. 6 squared. The next one plus 7 squared. Alright. And then from there, minus 4, everything becomes plus 4 squared. Good. The next step should be finding the squares of all these things, right? Let's find out individual squares now. We have 6 squared is 36. 7 squared is 49. And finally 4 squared is 16. Good. And what do we have next? We now have that having taken note of all that. So we now have that it's like I'm having a, okay, so we have this. This chalk is becoming something else, but there's no problem. That is it. That's what we have here. Okay, let's see what happens. 36 and 49. Okay, and 16. Okay, let's do small calculation. We have 36, 4, 9, and then 16. Avoid making mistake. 6 plus 9 is 15, plus this is 21. We write 1, carry 1, put here 4, and this 8, and this 9. Take it again. 6 plus 9 is what? 15. Plus 6 is 21. We write 1, carry 2, put here 5. 5 plus 4, 9. 9 plus 1, 10. That's 101. So we have 101. That is the modulus or the square of Q. Solved. So we've solved this. We've solved this. Quite interesting, isn't it? Good. Then the next one is I product P dot Q. P dot Q. That's it. P dot Q. Let's see what happens. If we have P dot Q, let's see what happens here. Okay? We are going to take that wisely. This will multiply this. This will multiply this. This will multiply that. and so on and so forth. So we have 8.6 for I, all right? Interesting. That's I squared, okay? So that I squared, yeah. And it's going to be 1 because we're talking about I, right? We're talking about dots. So when you're talking about vector dots or dot products, all right? I squared becomes 1. So let's look at this. Minus 5.7, okay? It becomes minus 7.6, all right? And then we have j what? J squared. And we have again, look at this, 3 dot minus this becomes minus what? Minus 3.4 and then k squared. Good. That's it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens next. And if that is the case, we then have p dot q, 6 times 8, or 8 times 6 is 46. Yes, because 8 times 5 is 40, and then 8 times 6 should be 48. Yes, this is 48. This is 48. Good. What happens here? What happens here is that I squared is 1, so it doesn't change anything. So let's look at this. Look at this. Minus, okay, we put our minus sign. 7 times 6. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 should be 42. So we have 4, 2. What happens here? Because j squared is 1 does not affect it anymore. And we go on that way. Yes, we go on that way because this is correct. This, because of this minus sign, we change this, that's correct. And then this, because of this, will be changed. Okay, so we now move on. Here, 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, that was it. It's 12. Let's see. Okay, that's 12. 12, and then k squared is 1, according to dot product. K times k is 1. So now we have that. Therefore, p dot q is equal to, let's see what happens here. Let's see what exactly happens here. This is 48 minus this, all right? 48 minus 40, 42 minus 12. I hope we're not missing anything. I hope we don't miss anything at all. Okay, just cross-checking to see, is there anything we are missing? We are not missing anything. This is minus sign, this. Okay, let's see. 48 minus this, we give 6, all right? 48 minus, okay, 48 minus 48 minus this is 4, and then 54, we have 48. Let's just do it according to the signs we have there, right? Let's just do it. We now have minus is 48 minus 54. Is that correct? All right, so that is it. Let's cross-check once again if we are right. And if we do that, what happens here is 48 minus 54 should be minus 6. Minus 6. P dot Q is found. Is there any mistake anywhere? Let's check. Let's cross-check if there is any mistake anywhere so that we make the correction immediately. This is this and that is this. All right? And then we move again. And then 5 times 7. Oh, you see, 5 times 7. 7 times 5. Where did I get 7.6? Can you see that is mistake? No, that is it. That is it. Can you see? That is it. This is a mistake. That's why we need to be very careful here. You know, I said it in the beginning. We have to be very, very careful. Minus 5 times 7 is going to be minus 35. Minus 35. Of course, minus 35. Not this. We need to be very, very careful. Minus 35. That's it. And we return it here, 35. And we go again. 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. I think that is correct. So, what do we have now? Minus 35. This is 7. Alright, here becomes 7. Okay. I think this has to change. This plus this is 7, right? Good. And then this and that is 4. 47. And you can see. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Quite interesting. We've corrected it. So P dot Q is 48 minus 47, and that gives us 1. Just 1. It's just 1. Not minus 6. That is why we have to be very, very careful to make sure we don't mix things up and arrive at the wrong answer. Okay? This has confirmed it. This is just 1. P dot Q is just 1. Correct? Okay. What next? We have to find this quickly. We have to find this immediately without wasting time. Okay? It's like I'm battling with my chalk here. Why is my chalk giving me tough time? Alright, so with that, I want to clean this side. But this will serve as a guide because I'm looking at P and that. I want to leave this side, it will serve as a guide. Let me clean this side. Okay, so let's see this quickly. Let's quickly look at this. Before we now conclude that we have finally found what we're looking for, okay? Oh yes. Okay. So the next thing we're going to find now is to look at number IV, that is cos theta. We have to find cos theta. So what do? It's very simple. What we need to do is to record that P dot Q is equal to modulus P, all right? Modulus P and modulus Q cos theta. Good. So we must make theta the subject. Once we make theta the subject, it falls out. And that is cos theta becomes the subject that we have P dot Q all over modulus P and then modulus Q. So to say, that's it. Alright. Then go ahead and substitute. Don't waste any time. Go ahead and substitute. Where you have P dot Q is 1. Okay? We put 1. All over. Where you have modulus P is, where is it? Modulus P, oh, cleaned. I think I got modulus P, I got square root 98, and then modulus Q, I got 101. I have not forgotten. That's what I got in the first place when I saw for them. So this is 101 respectively. Remember, okay? So this is soft. This question is soft. Very simple. Very simple. Then the next one is we need to find unit vector in the direction of P. Unit vector in the direction of P. This is what? V. Unit vector in the direction of P. Unit vector. Let's see. Unit vector in the direction of P. It's very simple. What we need to do is we state the values or the letters of P as this. We already know that. Okay? We just do that. What we need to do is very simple. For P, we already know in the direction of P is, look at it. Unit vector in the direction of P is given as caret P over P is equal to P all over what do you have as modulus P. Yes, all over modulus P. Okay? Take it that way. All over modulus P. So with this, we can now state the unit vector over there. We can state it now over there. Alright? So if we clean this side, we can equally state the unit vector quickly without wasting time. So what we need to do is we rush it once again. Caret P, use this to represent unit vector is equal to P all over this. And this gives us what we need, and this is, for P, we have 8, okay? 8 what I over square root 98. And then we have what next? We have what next? Minus 5j. Minus 5j over square root 98. Good. And then what next? We just continue to maintain that until we are done. We have plus 3k. We have plus 3k all over square root 98. Good. Can you see? Can you see what we are doing? Very nice. And then this is 98. I think we can still write it out. 8I over. Okay. With that, we can now conclude we have found. We can easily conclude that we have found the unit vector in the direction of P. Because everything we have done here has to do with P. That's what it means. So we cannot just write 8I over root square root 98 minus 5j over square root 98. Yes. I just want to make it visible here. Square root 98. And then this is going to be plus, not minus. Plus 3k all over square root 98. Solved. So we have found number 5. Unit vector in the direction of P. And finally, P cross Q. Quite interesting, isn't it? P cross Q. Let's see, what do we do here? Just write P. What is wrong with my chalk? I need to change this chalk. Breaking and breaking and breaking intermittently. Come on. Alright, so what do we do here? We just put this in a sort of a matrix where we have I, where we have J, and then we have K. Put it in a metric form. Yes, matrix. A sort of matrix. So let's go. The first one we have 8, 5, and 3. 8, okay, cross P cross Q. 8, 5, and 3. On that J we have minus 5 and 3. Good. That's it. That's it. And then we have under Q we have 6, 7, and 4. And we have 6, 7, yes. And then 4 is minus 4. That's it. That is it. Bravo! Solved. Come on. That is it. We have successfully solved and then arrive at the final answer here. We have got, we solve for this, solve for that, and this, that, and that. This is the final one, which is stated here. Very clear. That is it. That is it. And that's how to solve a question like this. Yes, that's how to solve questions of this nature. You take them one at a time, split them, explain each step. Before you know it, you become used to it, get the skills, and arrive at the appropriate answer. I'm signing up now. See you in my next class. But if you have any concern, please put it in the comment section. See you.